Rich, I want to grill.
You come to the right place.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Summertime. I'm your host, Sommer Hill, and today we are in the creative studio with jeweler Rich Grilz. Woo! Thank you for being here with me today.
Thanks for the invitation.
Or allowing me to be here with you. So yeah, you're really dynamic. I was doing my research and just exploring everything that you've been into, and it's too much to even remember. So I want to go through all of it, and then we're gonna dive deep into all of it.
Okay, cool.
So in this show, we pretty much tell the story of your life, of who you are, why you are, how you are, and so people can use this as like a roadmap for themselves, just as creative inspiration or motivation or whatever they may need.
Oh, that's so dope.
Thank you. Okay, so you grew up in Southeast.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and I saw you tell a story about how your sister was shot.
Yeah, I think I was maybe like 9 years old, and some dude robbed a dice game, ran away. Some other dude was chasing after him. My older sister was sitting on the front porch with my little cousin, and she went to cover my little cousin
Oh my
because the
gosh.
dude chasing the other one started shooting, shot her in both her legs.
Oh my gosh, so how did that impact the rest of your upbringing?
I mean, on my end, I was so young, I couldn't really put it all together.
How old were you?
I was probably I want to say somewhere in between like 7 and 9.
Okay.
And it was around my birthday. I think more so from my parents' point of view, they were kind of a little bit more like watching after me, making sure that I wasn't in the wrong places at the wrong time.
How did they make sure of that?
Really much just giving me whatever, we, again, I'm from where I'm from, so we didn't have a abundance of money. But my parents did a good job of keeping me busy, making sure that I had the things that I needed, that I didn't feel like a temptation to go out there and get some nefarious dollars and things like that. So
Good.
it's just the little things, and just seeing them work hard, and then seeing my sister kind of recover from those things. It kind of turned me off from trouble at an early age.
Okay, good. So that moment was like a catalyst for you to let me not go this direction.
Yeah. After seeing my sister get shot, I genuinely feel like street shit is stupid.
It is stupid.
Mm-hmm.
And we always hear stories of people who are caught up in the crossfire, but to know someone who's actually experienced it is completely different.
Yeah, and that was just the beginning. Like, I had 30 first cousins.
Oh
So,
my gosh.
we was deep, but seeing, losing cousin after cousin, friend after friend, it just turned me off from it. I wanted to play the safe route. Of course, take chances, take risks, but not a vital risk.
Yeah.
I want to take economic risk.
Yeah. And you have.
Yeah,
And you
for
have.
sure.
So I love the story of when you told about your sister when she was working at, was it Foot Locker? And she brought home the bag of all that stuff for Christmas.
Yeah. No, my sister was working at Old Navy.
Oh, Old Navy.
My sister loved me, man.
Is this the same sister?
Yeah, my
Okay,
older sister. That's my hero right there. I done seen her go through so many trials and tribulations in her life, and I done seen her turn all of those things upside down. And
Shout
she
out to the
always
women
had
doing it.
man, for sure. My mother, my sister, my grandmother, all my aunts. Like, I grew up with no uncles. 31st cousins, no uncles for real.
That's
So,
crazy.
it forced me to grow up early, but I also had plenty of plethora of great role models that always supported me, always had my back, always looked out for my best interests.
There's a difference between a man who grew up around a lot of women and a man who grew up around a lot of men. Do you notice that difference?
Yeah, but for me, I kind of had the best of both worlds because growing up in this area, I didn't have a lot of friends who had a strong father figure in their life. I've always had my father in my life. And like, if my sister's my first hero, my mother's probably number two. My father's a really close third. Like, he just always been on man time. He never really allowed anyone to kind of I've never seen nobody punk my father. My father was more so the aggressor when I was a kid, and but he was never a street guy. So it was just the early example of how can you be real, how can you be solid, but how can you not fall into the caricature of a gangster or something like that? Because I don't want to be that. I just want to be respected, and I think that's what most people want.
What do you think is the main difference?
I think the main difference between just being a respected man and like carrying a gangster persona, one, I think it's like a quiet confidence. Like you know who you are, you
Right.
know you're not a sucker, but you don't feel the urge to prove it to
Right, to
everyone
test
all the
everyone.
time. Like,
Right.
or to express it to everybody all the time. Like, I don't got to share my virtues, I don't got to share my values. If you follow along, you're going to see them. I'm going to make it clear.
Yeah, that you see, that's what I like about like just hopping into religion really quick. Like if we look at the Muslim religion, like you can tell they're Muslim because of the things that they do every day. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Like walking down the street, you could tell a Muslim because he's stopping to pray 5 times a day, right? But Christian, you can't necessarily tell. So I agree with that point. Like it has to be seen, not said.
Yeah. I think that any religion, to do something religiously should be the goal, you know, and to do spiritual things religiously, to develop a process of valoration for a divine power. I think it's the goal for everybody, for me, no matter what religion you follow. Like, I always try to stand on my own too. I always try to remember what I'm doing and why I'm doing it, you know, like always and everything in life. So,
So why are you doing what you do?
I mean, I'm motivated to change the world. Like, I want to be a legend when I leave this earth.
What do you want your legacy to be?
My legacy, I want to be known as someone who created a trailblazer, someone who created their own path. Also want to be known as an influencer, like someone not in a
Like the
in a
social media.
sense of every. I'm talking about making real impact in the lives of people in a positive direction. You know, like that's my goal. Like if I'm not here for any other reason but to maximize every 24 hours I get. Every day I wake up is a blessing. So I'm trying to get back that investment. I feel like my God invested in me this 24 hours. Like yo, they gave me another 24 hours. I'm gonna double back that profit every time. Like
So let's say 90 years from now, God willing, this is your last day on earth. What do you want to look back and be able to see like that you've impacted or changed or influenced?
I don't want to look back. I want to look forward and see just the trajectory that we're on. You know, I don't think that I'm the most important person to ever walk this earth, but I do feel like I'm a part of a continuum of people who have did a lot to make sure the next generation is set up better. Like that's it. Like I don't. It's not about me. You know, it's about leaving something behind for people who could have a better shot at life than I did. You know.
Yeah, yeah, no, that is important.
Like I made the most out of everything, but I want to give people more of a plethora of things to make the most out of. Give more resources, you know. Whatever I can do, that's what I'm committed to. Like that's what I'm going down on.
And that's why being professor is aligned with with your goals in life.
Yeah, being a professor, even more. I'm a PhD candidate at Temple University.
Didn't you, your dissertation, I saw it
It
was,
just got approved.
yeah,
Yeah, straight up. Thank you. I appreciate that.
congratulations. That's so exciting. But wait, before we get into all the
Yeah.
education, so you started at Bowie State.
Yeah, I started at Bowie State University, undergrad.
Okay, why'd you choose Bowie State?
Bowie State chose me for
Okay.
sure. I wasn't really intending on going to college after I graduated high school. Dude came to the keynote speaker at my high school graduation. Excuse me, called my mother on the big screen at the we had our graduation at College Park. Called my mother on the big screen and said, "Hey, we heard about your son. We heard about your family. We heard about your story. We heard about your struggle. When it's time for you to go to school, tell them to send me the bill."
What? Wait, how did they hear about you?
My guidance counselor, Miss Raji, at the time, she, I was that was my homie for real, you know, and my older sister had went to
Okay.
my high school as well. So I guess somehow I don't know because I was surprised too.
That was a
But
surprise.
yeah, but
That's the
when I
best
walked across
surprise
the
you could get.
stage, Miss Raji was like, "Yeah, I'm the one that told." I mean, he
Oh.
didn't end up paying.
Oh.
When I wasn't even going to go to school until he said that. Then he said that I enrolled at Bowie State because they had I never applied to a college,
Oh.
but Bowie State was doing like on site acceptance.
Okay.
So that was the only school that was even a possibility. Then I got there, and the dude, his name was Michael Miller. He was I think he was from Morehouse and Eastern Shore. Um, he was like the scholarship was for community college.
Oh, but he
He
didn't specify that.
ain't
So
specify
he
that
didn't
exactly.
even give you
He ain't
anything?
give me no money.
Did you say anything to him?
Um, nah, because I always try not to make things a big deal because it's people who really love me and they really gonna ride and slide.
But
I
why would he do that grand gesture in front of everybody, get your folks all excited just to not give you any money to go to school?
mean, that's a question for him.
Oh, but I guess mission was accomplished because you went to school and you
So,
kept going.
and I'm not mad at him. Like, I'm not mad. Like, I'm never gonna be mad at another person for
Really?
my life. Like,
Oh, okay, okay.
I'm in control. Like,
Yeah.
I'm in control of this thing. And it really put me in the mindset where I'm not going to take it, I'm not going to let this opportunity go to waste. I'm going to take full advantage of being here. And I did do that while I was at Bowie State. Like, I'm still living and eating off of relationships I made at that
Oh,
institution, you
good,
know?
good.
So I'm not mad at him.
And what
Like,
did you study while you were there?
I studied history and my focus was gender discrimination and the civil rights movement.
I saw that. Okay, so can you tell me a little bit about that? Did you watch that 6888 movie?
No,
Oh, why not?
I don't really watch TV.
Oh, any movies or any shows or
I ain't
anything?
seen a movie in a while.
Oh wow, okay, okay. Well, anyway, so what did you learn? Like, what first of all, why did you want to get into that, and then what were your takeaways?
From the history program, I learned so much in that program, man. Like, it's endless, but I was drawn to my capstone, my senior capstone topic, was like I said earlier, which was gender discrimination and the civil rights movement. From learning about this woman named Ella Baker.
Mm-hmm.
Ella Baker, she was a graduate from Shaw University, and she was actually the leader of Martin Luther King Jr.'s organization, Southern Christian Leadership
Mm-hmm.
Conference. She had the biggest campaign that they ever had. It was called Crusade for Citizenship. But that was just the beginning of her story. Later on, she goes on to found the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee, otherwise known as SNCC,
Mm-hmm.
and goes on to coordinate all of these sit-ins across the South, using the energy and the power from the student leadership at that time. So when I saw her, I was looking at someone who kind of embodied a lot of the same virtues that I did. Like, she was an older woman, but she used her time, her energy, her resources, her network to inspire the youth in a way that was going to positively impact change. So that was what I was on. So when I learned about her story and then I learned about her methods for motivating younger people, it moved me.
Do you use some of those methods?
Oh, yeah.
What methods do you still use?
Well, Ella Baker was known for employing a Socratic method in her leadership, meaning she asked a lot of questions and stirred conversation through inquiry. So in my classroom today, it's really inquiry
Mm.
based, where I'm asking my students a lot of questions. I'm trying to get their feedback, but I'm also trying to empower them with the ability to lead a conversation as well.
That and to know that they have the authority to find this information out themselves too. Like we all have access
Yes.
to information now.
Facts. A key term we use in my doctoral program now is agency.
Okay, I like
Like
that.
making sure that people feel like they have agency, but also informed agency that's grounded in the understanding of your own history and
Mm-hmm.
culture, that can form your orientation and give you a sense of direction, that can build your perspective and give you a way of seeing the world. So again, that's all I'm trying to do, and I'm always attracted to the stories of people who have done the same thing. You
Mm-hmm.
know.
Yeah, no, I'm sure your students really appreciate that. Why did you open a We Buy Gold store? I
Um,
used to always see those commercials, and I was like, "There's no way this is." I always thought it was a scam.
I mean, it's scammy,
Oh, okay.
but everything is a scam
Yeah.
because you got to think anything you're purchasing, they bought for 33% of the price that you're
Right.
paying for
Right.
it. So like the only thing with We Buy Gold is you're selling money. So you're selling money and buying gold for a percentage of the total value of that gold.
Okay.
But a lot of times people don't have access to a refinery. People can't just drive to the Diamond District, or they don't have enough gold to drive to the Diamond District and get the top price or
Right.
something. So they need like an intermediary,
So you opened the store in Baltimore.
Yeah, I opened a store
Why?
and to get some money. Like
Was it good money?
it was great money.
Was it?
Oh my
So
God.
people really came and dropped off gold.
Yeah.
What did you do with that gold?
I would sell it to other jewelers, which ended up forming relationships that allowed me to become um, uh, an apprentice in the jewelry industry. Sometimes I would drive to New York. I would drive to New York every week. I ended up moving to New Jersey to like Weehawken, New Jersey. I had a crib out there just because we was going up there so much, dropping off jewelry and
Oh
stuff.
wow.
And at the same time, we had started one of my guys that I was a business partner with had started a clothing company called Boss Collection. And I was his business partner on that endeavor as well. So that was taking off at a rate that we couldn't even control at the same
Really?
time. Yeah, it was easier back then because
Yeah.
you could do all of the different social media promotions and marketing on pages like Shade Room, Baller Alert. Back then, you can send them 250 and
Oh, okay.
they'll post your stuff. People just wasn't doing it as much as they are now. So
Yeah, and I know them rates now are crazy.
I can only imagine. They've been definitely building their situation.
So at the same time as you have this gold store, you're
Yeah,
in school again, getting your master's
getting
at
my masters.
Towson
Yep,
in what was it?
and European humanities.
Why did you go for European?
Well, I was coming from a HBCU,
Right?
so I was feeling like my experience was very much tailored and catered to the black community,
Okay.
and I wanted to have a universal outlook of the world. So I studied European humanities there. I did my study abroad in Greece.
I saw that. I studied abroad in
Oh
Barcelona.
yeah, that's fire.
Yeah, how was Greece?
I love Greece, man.
That's a good place.
I love Greece. We stayed in I think 30 different city states.
What? How long were you there?
I want to say a month.
Okay. And
Mm.
what did you learn about like Greek culture that you were able to apply to your life or bring back with you?
Well,
Or Greek mythology?
I was an oh Greek mythology is just is it's a lot of value to be taken as far as real world application in Greek mythology, and a lot of things that we learn and study today get its early framework from Greek mythology. If you're talking about psychology was born from the Oedipal complex from Sigmund Freud. The
Mm-hmm.
Oedipal complex is based off of Greek mythology from Sophocles called uh, the Theban plays. So it's Oedipus Rex, Oedipus at Colonus, and Antigone. If you're looking at the story of Dionysus, you can find a lot of parallels to African American citizenship in the United States.
Mm.
Someone who was allowed into the Parthenon later, who was known as to be the god of theater and the god of entertainment. You get what I mean? Like it's just a lot of parallels you can find in Greek mythology, and then you also see the exchange between um, Greek mythology, Kemetic or Egyptian mythology, Roman mythology. It's a lot of overlap, in all of those cosmologies. So I've learned about the whole world. I saw the first ghetto in, um,
Where was that at?
uh, I want to say it was like in Mycenae or something like
In
that.
Greece?
Yeah,
That
in
was the first
Greece.
ghetto?
Yeah, it was the first ghetto. It was the first place that all the minorities will
Mm.
live on this city state. And when you go onto the island, you see statues from all these different cultures there. Because it
Wow.
was like a mix and pack for cultures in Greece.
So why did you choose to study abroad in Greece?
Because that's the mecca for European humanities,
Okay.
Greece and Rome.
So I saw you tell this story about you giving a speech at a synagogue.
Yeah.
Can you tell me about that? I'm so intrigued.
Oh yeah, that was super cool. So while I was at Towson, I took a class called The Jewish Philosophy of the Human Being by the professor name was Rabbi Barry Frundell, and we had our final presentation was at the Georgetown Synagogue, and I chose to write my paper on a Jewish philosopher, poet, priest named Judah Halevi, and it was on his book called the Kuzari. It was written in the 7th century in Spain, and it was a
How did you like, because obviously the language is so different, you know?
mhm.
Like the way they just communicate is different. So how did you translate what you were reading?
I was lucky though because a part of that class was translating text from Hebrew to English.
Okay.
So we would actively be translating text. And we had a rabbi that was
Oh,
teaching a
okay, okay,
course to
okay.
help us translate the text. So we were actually, I had two versions of the book. I had a book that was translated into modern Hebrew because ancient Hebrew and modern Hebrew aren't the same. And I had a text that was translated into English.
Okay.
Hmm.
So then, tell me about the speech
Oh
at the
yes.
synagogue.
So the book itself, the Kuzari, was about a king who was converting from a traditional faith to a Semitic religion. So he brought in representatives from Christianity, Islam, and Judaism to kind of convince him on the pros and cons of each religious belief or religious system, spiritual system rather. And I paralleled Judah Halevi's writing to the situation of black people in America because he was a Jewish priest and he was living in Spain. Spain at the time was ran by the
The Moors.
Muslims and it was during a Christian crusade. So they were kind of in between a rock and a hard place, which was how I was feeling at that time, you know, like I was learning a lot of things at Towson University. I'm very much indebted to them for teaching me that different perspective, you know.
So you went to this synagogue and talked about how Jewish people and black people have had similar experiences.
For sure.
And how did they respond to that?
They really loved it. I
Did
mean,
they?
it's plenty of literature that's talking about that though.
Okay. From their perspective too?
From their well, not necessarily from. I'm not going to. They have theorists who have written about Jewish persecution versus African persecution. It's some people who believe that African people were the first Jewish people.
Mm,
Hitler believed that African people were God's jewelry. That's what he talks
mm.
about. You know what I mean? So it's a lot of parallels between the two stories. I don't like to compare struggles of people, but I just like to look at things in parallel with one another, and that's basically what I did. You
And what
know,
did they say?
they was feeling I got an A in that class.
Did
So,
you?
fine A, what?
And the synagogue was feeling it too?
The synagogue was feeling it too, like, and they had Hasidic Jews in there as well.
Really?
Yeah, they
And
was.
they were open and welcoming to you to come in there and share this
Yeah,
speech.
but I had a cheat code because
With
I'm
the
a
rabbi.
jeweler.
Oh.
So I got Jewish friends. You
Okay.
know what I mean? Like I got Jewish friends. I got friends from all over the world.
So did they already know you were coming? Like these were
Yeah,
your people?
yeah, and it was
Okay.
about 15 people who presented that day. The whole class presented
Okay.
there.
Got you. At that same synagogue.
Hmm.
Okay, but is that where you met the person who put you on to the Russian guy?
No, he's a Muslim, and
Oh,
I met him at my shop. I had met him at my shop, and our first real conversation was about this presentation because when you read in books from certain time periods or certain eras of history, there's certain contexts that if you don't have any cultural awareness, you won't understand. You could read the
okay.
pages, but it's like you don't even know what you're reading, you
Mm-hmm.
know. And so I started asking my friends like for context on the different perspectives of these characters in this book. And the feedback I was given kind of, I think, opened their eyes that I might not be, again, who they thought I was
Mm-hmm.
in the beginning, you know.
Yeah, you're a
Like,
scholar.
exactly. I'm always a scholar first, you know.
And so I saw you say in the interview that you met someone and he brought you to another country to like teach you about jewelry.
He didn't bring me to another country. He brought me into his culture. So
Okay.
like for a lot of different people, they pick up trades and then they use that trade to get people from their country into America. So you come to America, I teach you this trade. You're going to learn English through this trade. You're going to meet people through this trade. You're going to provide for your family to in this trade. And then once you establish yourself, then you can pursue your passions.
So what did that environment look like when he was teaching you about this
Man,
trade?
sometimes it'd be like 12, 13 of us breaking bread together, you know, eating on the floor. Like it's a cultural thing.
But what did that have to do with jewelry?
They creating jewelry together. Jewelry
Oh.
isn't something that anybody can do alone, you
Oh,
know.
you had to do it with people?
It's best to do it with people or you're going to be like a personal jeweler. There's only so many projects you can do at one time. Like for myself, I always have at least 40 to 50 projects going at one time,
Okay.
at all times. Like, and I still got to teach classes, I still got to be in here. I still got to promote and push the business.
Mm.
So, like, for me, it's very important that I have, like, that team of people on the production end. And, of course, with jewelry, is so many different aspects of jewelry. You know this because you come from a line of jewelers, right? Um, you got diamond setting, you have smelting gold, you have casting gold, you have refining and finishing of gold, you have the polishing, you have the special designs. Like, I just made a gold that has that plant on it. You know what
Oh,
I'm
really?
saying?
That's
Yeah.
so cool.
Yeah, I just made one of those. So my whole thing is I don't want to give people the best of what I can do. I want to give people the best there is.
Hmm.
In order for me to do that, I go out and recruit the best that there is to work with me to create just a superior product.
I love that, like, you've explored the whole world and then you brought it back to Black culture.
Yeah, straight up. Everything is rooted, everything is grounded in my own history and culture.
Mm.
And all information I receive is is audited by my own understanding of my history and culture. You get what I'm
Hmm.
saying?
Hmm.
So no one can ever educate me on something that's going to lead to me having a lower regard of myself or a lower regard of my people because I deal with my people. People talk about black people all the time, and that they this way, that they that way. I'd have made over 7,000 grills now. Like,
Wow.
I
That's an
don't,
accomplishment.
and I don't be agreeing with people. I feel like, son,
Yeah.
we are good.
Yeah.
We kind of a dope, we
Yeah.
kind of a dope
If
community.
anything, it gives you a higher regard.
I have an extremely high regard for my people.
That's good. You should.
Hmm.
So then you go and get your PhD.
Yes, and I ended up going to get my PhD in Africology and African American
So
Studies.
then you were like, let me go back to the.
Let me go back and learn how to lead my people.
Okay, okay. And I've never heard of Africology before.
Hmm.
What is that?
So Africology, they actually sued Temple University for it to be called Africology. Nomenclature is the biggest problem in Black studies or African American studies.
What's it called?
Nomenclature, naming.
Okay.
So you can go. First of all, Black studies is the fastest growing discipline in the world
Okay.
by far. Like, we are getting more programs than anybody. Number two is women's studies is the second fastest growing
And that's
program.
interesting. I can't tell.
It's a lot of new women's studies programs at different universities around the world right
Well, I'm
now.
looking forward to those people that are learning about it to reflect inside of America.
Me too, and I'm also looking forward to minority women playing a bigger role in establishing what women's studies are going to look like. But
Mm-hmm.
that's another story
Mm-hmm.
because everything can get there could be a hegemony on anything, where you'll think that somebody is trying to speak for everyone, but really they're just speaking for their particular section of the whole.
Right, right,
You get
right,
what I'm
right.
saying?
And
Like,
how could you not though? That is your section.
but people do it all the time where women's studies will quickly turn into European women's
Mm-hmm.
studies, or history will quickly turn into European history,
Mm-hmm.
or humanities. If you go and you're learning psychology and the only people you are reading about is Sigmund Freud uh, and this guy and that guy and that guy, nobody introduces you to a Naeem Akbar, nobody introduces you to a Francis Cress Welsing, then it's essentially you're taking European psychology.
Yeah,
Like,
I feel like that's really such an HBCU treat though. Like they don't like, I studied psychology in high school. Of course, you never heard of these names, but it wasn't until Howard where I was like, "Oh, there's a world outside of this."
yes, most people never realize that, like never realize how diverse
Yeah.
a discipline can be and how different culture is. Number one, culture changes everything. Like, you can bring language in the culture. If you look at the way that black people speak English versus how anybody else speaks English, it's different.
It is
If you look at how
different.
Mexican people speak the English, it's different. Culture is a transformative agent that we can never overlook. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you can bring any concept and introduce it to a people of a culture, and they will transform it to fit their
Right.
way of life and their way of seeing the world, you know.
So, Africology, what are you learning?
So Africology is divided into various components. One is the Afrocentric paradigm. A paradigm has structural aspects, it has functional aspects, and it has metaphysical aspects. It's the organizing principle for how you uh, research and how you treat data. Another thing that's really big in my department is spirituality. We actually have a class called African Spirituality, where we study. Well, for me, I actually had to go into the community
Mhm.
and find people following an African spiritual base and attend ceremonies and
What
things like
communities were
that.
you going into?
I actually started studying the Santeria.
Okay.
So that was crazy because I go to school in Philly, so we got to go to ceremonies and stuff like that. So I went and got an Olugun reading
Mm.
with the cowrie shells,
Okay.
where you get to learn who your orishas are. You
Who are
know,
yours?
I'm a child of Oshun.
Oh, the water?
Oshun like the water.
Yeah. Okay.
Oshun like
Okay.
the water. Oshun like gold. You
Mm.
know, and I was given certain rules and laws that I need to follow for prosperity,
Oh, wow. Do you follow them?
for sure.
What are those, some of them that you care to
The
share?
two most important ones that I will share is a lack of discipline will get you killed.
Oh.
That was the first one. That was the first law that Oshun gave me. And the second one was don't make women cry.
Oh, I like that. They need to spread that across the whole world.
Oshun don't play.
That is so sweet. I love
Oshun don't
that.
play. Like Oshun do not play.
So, okay, so you're in these communities and you're studying.
I'm studying, I'm learning from the people. And that's a really big thing about my department. They want you to learn from African people so you can see the connectivity between like Africa and the diaspora, you know. And another big component of Afrocentricity is redefining the world and the history of the world through the lens of black people,
Mm,
of, of our perspective.
I love that.
So a lot of times we'll tell the whole story of something and it'll be devoid of our perspective,
Mm-hmm.
where you can't tell a story without us.
Exactly. So, did you ever go to Africa?
Africa has been like my number one goal, but it's something I'm saving for when I graduate. So
Oh, when you finish?
yeah, I walk across the stage in December, and my trip is planned for the end of
Where are you gonna
January.
go?
I'm going to Ghana.
Okay. Why'd you choose Ghana?
I'm a chill guy. Ghana seemed more like my
You
speed.
want to chill for Dirty December? They don't chill. They party till 8 in the morning.
I'm going in January.
Okay, okay. So right
All
after.
the Dutchies gone.
Yeah, yeah. Hopefully, if you're trying to chill. No, I've heard really good things about Ghana.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
other countries in Africa are you gonna explore?
I want to go to most of them. I want to go to the Ivory Coast. I want to visit Liberia. I want to go to South Africa. I want to go to Zimbabwe. I want to go to Eritrea. I want to go to Egypt. I want to go to Mali, Benin, Togo. I really want to be out there for real.
I'm so looking forward to. Can we talk again when you get back so I can hear your thoughts?
Yeah, for sure.
I've been to Kenya and I've been to Morocco, and they were both very, obviously, very different experiences, but so eye opening. Like, I learned so much about myself and about the world and about like my biases and things like that. So I want to hear about yours when you come back.
Oh yeah, straight up. If I come back.
If you come back, okay, period. So, okay, so you just defended your dissertation. Congratulations.
My proposal.
Okay, okay. And what was it on?
My proposal is an Afrocentric guide to collaborative economics for Black entrepreneurs.
Okay, I like that.
Hmm.
So, where do grills come in the picture? Like, when did you start focusing and like opening Rich Grilz?
So again, a dude named Farouz put me on, and me and him got cool through my studies for real. Like he would start bringing me. I started telling him my research interests when I was in grad school, and he would bring me discs from his mosque and stuff like that. And he's the one that offered me the opportunity to learn about the trade of grills specifically.
Okay.
And yeah, and that was 2012. 2016, I go off on my own. Like the leader of um, his family went back to his home country and real and he came back with the predisposition that it's haram for him to continue
Oh,
to
really?
create gold jewelry for men.
Oh, okay.
So everybody kind of like had to
Pivot.
pivot, and that's when I ended up going out on my own. I ended up moving my business from Baltimore to Bowie, Maryland, and it was so cool because I had experience in my We Buy Gold with brick and mortar, like
Mm-hmm.
dealing with people every day. And I had experience in the clothing with branding and digital sales and stuff like that. So I always thought that Rich Grilz was a combination of both of those
Mm-hmm.
things. And I think that's probably one of our strengths. It's probably like our superpower is that we understand the power of a person to person interaction, and we also understand the power of a digital interaction, because
Okay.
sometimes that's where you make your first impression on people.
Digital currency is real now.
It is, something as simple as saying hello,
Right.
something as simple as making other people say hello,
Yeah,
you know,
and making them smile and
making
giving
people
them a
smile.
nice smile.
Real talk.
So it was really important for me to interview you because I don't think, do you know where I'm from?
Do I know where you're from?
Yeah, try and guess.
Not
As
Washington.
no, as someone who studied language, where am I from?
As someone who studies language, where are you from? Hold on. Hold on. I got
You
three
could get yes,
questions.
you could okay, okay.
What's your favorite food?
In the world? My favorite food? I like barbecue right now,
Barbecue.
but that is a hint.
Okay. Um, what's your favorite sport?
Uh. I don't do sports. I'll play every once in a while, but I will never watch sports.
Last question is going to be, um, what are your biggest hobbies?
My biggest hobbies?
Hmm.
Um, I like to read, ride my bike, travel.
So, are you from Texas?
No.
Are
I
you?
told you grills are important to me.
Oh,
It's in the
so
culture.
you're from Atlanta, Georgia,
No, no. You get one more guess.
Texas, Georgia. Um, the only other two places I could think is like California, like the Bay somewhere,
No.
or Louisiana. I don't know.
St. Louis,
How
Missouri.
is St. Louis automatically known for grills?
Oh my God. We gotta teach you some more history. You gotta go back and go to that
What,
class.
because of Nelly?
Yes. You don't feel like Nelly put it on?
Age difference. No way.
You don't think so? I also feel like Air Force Ones are
Nelly couldn't
St.
have
Louis
made that
shoes.
song unless he put Paul Wall on there.
Yeah, but it's still like a Saint. Like after that, grills was popping. Like you don't think so? Like I always, ever since I saw that when I was younger, I was like, I have to get a grill.
But we was already wearing. If he was already wearing
But didn't
grills,
he make it hot, make it popping? Like
yeah,
everybody when they get a grill, they put that song on it.
1,000%. But it's still not. You can't give grills in St. Louis.
Yes, you
No
can
way.
get one.
You can't put grills in St. Louis. You gotta go Texas. You gotta go New
I
York. You gotta
see
go to Bay. You
Texas.
gotta go Georgia.
Well, anyway, as a Saint Luna, as a fellow Saint
St. Lunatic.
lunatic,
Hey, where your
I am.
band aid at?
I
Where
am.
your band aid at
I
when it
don't
ain't
have no
real?
band-aid. I am here to connect that dot for you from Grills to St. Louis,
Straight
and now
up.
we're in DMV with it.
Hey, shout out to all my lunatics.
Yeah, period. So how? But how has this experience been as like a business owner here?
um, shoot, man, I love my life.
Amen.
Like I do something that I enjoy. I get to make people smile every day. Um, it's perfect. And I get to live what I'm studying. I
Yeah.
think that's the biggest benefit. Like I tell people in my dissertation, I'm essentially writing about my life. Like, these are the principles, these are the ideals, these are the concepts that I apply every day to make a living for myself. So
I
it's
love
perfect.
that, like, in this industry, you making grills, like, the goal is to make people smile. We need
1000%.
we need more jobs and occupations where the goal is to make people smile.
1000%. And we need to realize that no matter what your job is, you still have the capacity to make people
True.
smile in that
True.
role, you know.
That's true.
It'd be the small things. It'd be the small things, you know. It'd be the small things.
So, oh, go ahead.
But that's just how I carry my life. I know my biggest goal is to leave a positive mark on the world. So that controls all of the little things. That controls my agency. That directs my agency. You know,
So you said you make a style for every smile.
1000%.
What would my style be? Like, if I was like, here, you have full creative control, what would you create?
You got a nice set on right now.
Thank
You
you.
know, if I may say so
I did
myself.
get this from Atlanta, but I'm going to get one from you today.
See, you know, look now I'm smiling. Look how quickly that look. You see what I'm saying?
I have
It
to.
don't matter your job. You can make people smile. You know, you could be the leader of a TV show, still making people smile.
Amen. And I hope that I do.
But I would say, mm, for you, I like the decisions you made already. Three
Thank you.
piece on the side or two piece on the side. I probably would have extended that to a three, but it's still dainty. Cross is hard.
It's got to, I've got to be able to talk in it since
You
I'm a
got it.
talker.
That's why I would have incorporated some molars in there, so you could
Okay.
even talk even more comfortably.
Okay. Okay. So to end this off, tell me what's one thing that you feel like everybody should know about you or know about grills before getting one?
The one thing that people should know about grills before getting one, I would say that yes, there is a style for every smile, but every smile can't get every style.
Okay. That's good to know.
You know, so a lot of times I think the biggest toxic phenomenon in the grills industry particularly is when you go on these companies social media pages or you go on Pinterest or inspiration. A lot of times you're finding people with, you know, big ass teeth, you know, like that might may or may not be real. They may or may not went to one of the countries we talked about earlier to get those teeth, you know, and they can get whatever they want. But for people who haven't made that decision, we might be a little bit more limited in what we can do with our smiles.
So
So,
when they come in there, do you tell them like, you maybe don't want to do all of that. Maybe let's do this instead.
well, the thing about me, I've been doing this for 13 years now. So, if it's something that's not going to work, I'm not wasting my time.
Okay.
Like, I'm going to tell you
Just
right
let it
now
be.
what your limitations are. I'm going to give you my suggestions, and then we go from there.
Okay, so now we're about to make a mold for me.
Yes, you thinking top or bottom?
I feel okay. What do you see more when I talk?
You're a top talker.
Really? I thought I was bottom. Okay, yeah. Then let's do top.
All right, that sounds like a plan.
Okay,
You
so
want something dainty? You want something aggressive?
I want something that's very St. Louis.
Okay. Is my creative freedom?
Yep, you get creative freedom, but just keep me in mind of who I am and the type of things I do so that you can tailor it to that.
Cool. I done my research too.
Oh, period. Period. Well, tell him where to find you.
Hey everybody, it's Rich from Rich Grilz. You can find me online on all social media platforms under the same name, RICHGRILLZ. And you know, I'm looking forward to meeting you all. I'm looking forward to corresponding with you all, and I'm looking forward to getting y'all icy.
Yay! Thank you so much for being here today. You guys, I'm so impressed. Like, this exceeded all my expectations. If y'all need a grill, you need to go tap in with Rich Grilz. Look at me. I got palm trees on my teeth. I got palm trees all over my body. Like, that's crazy. He really understood the assignment. Tap in with Rich Grilz, y'all.
Summer, summer, summertime. Summertime. Summertime.